please kindly go through it once so that you have a fair idea of when your name is going to be called. I request all the awardees to please very carefully go through the order of calling. As you can see, that this has details of the program as well as the order of calling. So we will request you to please follow it very carefully. Please mark your names so that you have a fair idea of when your name is going to be called, and please follow it accordingly. Thank you. Here in our midst, accompanied by all the dignitaries. As you can see, he is right now taking his seat on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and a very warm welcome. Eepc India welcomes all of you to our National Award for Export Excellence presentation function for the year 2009-2010 here in New Delhi. Apart from being the most coveted function for our members, we also celebrate 42 years of presentation of National Export Excellence Awards by Eepc India. In 1967-68, Eepc, then called the Engineering Export Promotion Council, recognized the contribution of its member exporters and awarded badges and certificates of merit to those members who had exported more than 10% of their production or had exceeded an export performance of 2.5 lakh rupees during that year. 78 firms were recognized on this basis that year. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have gathered to celebrate the achievement of 98 companies who have succeeded against all odds in 2009-2010. The year 2009 and 10 was an extremely difficult year in the aftermath of the world economic crisis, which engulfed the developed world, particularly the US and the EU. These are two big markets for Indian engineering exports. Indian engineering exports declined by over 19% to US, making it $32.5 billion in the year. Therefore, the award winners in 2009 and 10 in the engineering sector are true champions and have the ability to take on the most difficult challenges that the global environment can offer. Guests, the award function will be followed by a presentation on India Engineering Sourcing Show, that is, IESS, which is taking place in March 2012 in Mumbai. Ladies and gentlemen, Canada is the partner country for the show, while Maharashtra will be the partner state. Friends, I would like to announce that there will be one complimentary return ticket for Eepc India member exhibitors outside Mumbai who registered their participation in the show before 31st December 2011. So, please rush to get a prime place in the show. Well, we are having the pleasure of having in our midst the Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia, the Honorable Union Minister of State for Commerce and Industry. A very warm welcome to you, sir. May I request you all, dignitaries on the dais, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to please rise and stand in attention for the national anthem. Okay.
पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात
May I now request our National Chairman, Shri Aman Chadha, to please present a bouquet of flowers to the Honorable Union Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia, and please welcome him. Thank you, Shri Chadha. May I now request Shri Tavinder Singh Haseem, Vice Chairman Eepc India, to welcome Mr. Sumanta Chaudhary, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Commerce, by presenting a bouquet of flowers. I now have the pleasure of requesting the Honourable Minister, sir, to please kindly light the ceremonial lamp and inaugurate the function. May I request the dignitaries seated on the dais to please join in the lamp lighting ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, the lighting of the ceremonial lamp symbolizes a new and auspicious beginning. I would like to thank the Honourable Minister, sir.
Honourable Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia, Shri Sumanta Chaudhary, distinguished national award winners, fellow exporters, friends in the media, ladies and gentlemen, and being with us this evening. A hearty welcome to Shri Sumanta Chaudhary, our Joint Secretary in the Department of Commerce and a constant source of wise counsel and advice to Eepc. I also extend a warm welcome to all other dignitaries and senior officials present with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, 2009-10, the year for which the national awards will be presented by the Honourable. We are perhaps again under a similar global environment with considerable uncertainty in Europe and fears of a double dip in the USA. This, coupled with inflationary conditions in India, tight money policy, and withdrawal of exporter-friendly schemes like the Eepc scheme, has thrown fresh challenges for our members. And will take.
Thank you, Shri Chadha. I would now like to request the Honourable Minister, our honourable guest, to deliver the inaugural address. Please put your hands together and welcome our young and talented leader, our honourable chief guest.
Seated on the dais with me, Joint Secretary in my department, Sumanta Chaudhary, young and enterprising and energetic Chairman of the Eepc, Aman Chadha, Senior Vice Chairman, Anupam Shah, Vice Chairman, T.S. Basim, R. Maitriyaji, ED, members of the Eepc and the exporting community seated in this room with me, members from my ministry and friends from the media. It is indeed a source of great privilege for me to be here this evening on the occasion of the 42nd National Export Excellence Award of Eepc India. I understand that these awards are being given to the members of the Eepc for their export performance for the year 2009-10. My congratulations to the National Export Award winners for their outstanding effort given the adverse global circumstances during that very, very difficult period. I must take this opportunity to re-emphasize the role of the engineering industry in meeting the challenges ahead for our country and for the globe. The Indian engineering industry is indeed a dynamic segment of our manufacturing sector. We have a very well developed and diversified industrial machinery and capital base capable of manufacturing the entire range of industrial machinery. The industry has also managed to successfully develop advanced manufacturing technology over the years. A little while ago, a strategy paper was released by my department to double the country's merchandise exports in dollar terms over the next 3 years, from $253 billion clocked last year to close to $500 billion in FY 2013-14. To realize this, obviously, exports have to grow at a CAGR of almost 26.7% per annum, a tall order in the prevailing circumstances. Therefore, to realize this goal, we need to build on our strength in certain critical industries, namely engineering and chemicals. If indeed manufacturing is to occupy a larger share of GDP, we have envisaged a target of close to 25% of GDP and absorb the increasing numbers of the labor force. The engineering and chemical industries are the way for the future of India. Within engineering, we need to move up the value chain, both in terms of domestic production as well as exports. Aggressively promoting export growth of high-value products that have a strong domestic manufacturing base is the linchpin, we believe, of our overall export growth strategy. Most important in this category are exports of engineering goods, which now account for over 20% of our total export basket. Increasing exports of engineering goods has to be a major goal in any strategy in order to achieve our goal of doubling exports over the years. In order to establish greater credibility and acceptance of our critical export products and sectors in foreign markets, we would strengthen efforts to build up a brand image for important Indian exports and promote the thrust for quality upgradation. Domestic standards for export-related products would be raised, assurances put in place for quality enforcement through appropriate agencies, and expanded certification of export products encouraged where needed. To back up these efforts, a Brand India promotion campaign for key export products would certainly be supported. Our engineering exports base witnessed a CAGR of over 31% from 2003 to 2008. There was a growth path which we traversed on, which was broken in the year 2009 due to the global economic crisis. Engineering exports for the period April to November 2011 is estimated to be around $40.7 billion out of the total exports of roughly about $192 billion. This implies a share of roughly 21% of India's total exports. Also, engineering exports grew by almost 21.5% from $33 billion in April-November 2010 to $40.7 billion in April to November 2011. Indeed, 2009-2010 was an extremely difficult year in the aftermath of the subprime crisis that enveloped the developed world, particularly the US and the EU, which are the two big markets for Indian engineering exports. India's engineering exports declined by over 19% to $32 billion in 2009-10, largely as a consequence of this. Clearly, therefore, the award winners